One of these fragrances lasted 2 days with showering on my skin. Now, this is Infiniment Coty Paris. I'm going to tell you all about the brand, the 14 fragrances, and who's going to like what. Hi, how are you? I'm Robin. Welcome back, or welcome to my YouTube channel. Since 2013, I've been creating these videos about grooming, hair, skincare, fragrance, really helping you find the products that work for you. And today I'm talking all things fragrance with Infiniment Coty Paris. I'm going to tell you about the heritage of this brand, the science, the innovation, the 14 fragrances, what they smell like, who's going to like what, and should you buy them? So for the past 2 weeks, I've been trying these. I've been wearing them, I've been spritzing. I have been seriously obsessed with a few of them. 3 that I'm going to tell you about. And some others I have been a bit like, ooh, that's making me feel kind of weird, which I like about fragrance. I love that they have launched 14 fragrances. When I first saw this in Liberty, into the fragrance lounge, I went downstairs and I got in and around these fragrances, which have been categorized into 3 categories, from dawn to day to dusk. So really taking you on this fragrance journey from things which might be slightly lighter, citrusy, some florals, into more daytime wear. We've got some sandalwood sort of fragrances, into the evening of these heavier, sexier, sensual scents, one of which is the one that lasted 2 days on my skin. But when I first saw these, I kind of was a bit overwhelmed with all of them. But as I sort of have delved into these and got to experience them, I've really enjoyed it and I've been really excited by these. Now, Coty was created 120 years ago. Their first fragrance was a rose fragrance. They wanted to create an everlasting rose. So that was their first one. Fast forward 120 years and they've worked with some of the biggest designer brands, like we're talking, testing myself, Hugo Boss, Chloe, Burberry, Calvin Klein, and they also have their own fragrances. So these guys really are at the top of the tree in terms of being pioneering fragrance and innovation. And it seems like the perfect time to launch this. You know, 120 years of Coty with 14 new fragrances. What I really love about this is the philosophy behind the brand. It's maximalist performance, minimalist packaging. I mean, you can see in the bottles, they are gorgeous. You know, these pillared bottles. They come in these recyclable packaging here, so everything is very minimal. Also, you can refill them, which is great. I will link everything down below. This is a considered purchase, £195 for 75ml. The refills do work out then cheaper if you want to then go on. There are also discovery kits, so you can get all 14 together, or you can work into these at dawn, day, dusk. Again, everything will be down below. The maximalist performance comes from a patent pending science that they've created called molecular aura, which is how they collect the scent and then release it over a longer period of time. And that's what gives a fragrance up to 30 hours of performance. Now, the one that I had on my skin, which you're gonna hear a bit later, really did last through 3 showers, I wanna say, across 2 days. So it's most definitely working. Okay, so going through all 14 fragrances, I'm gonna tell you first, these are all French names, so I need minimal judgment on my pronunciation here, okay? Can we make an agreement? So starting from dawn, Matin De Jade, which is this crisp, zesty cologne with ginger and bergamot, really like a morning breeze full of energy. Atom Crochus, Kindred Atoms, which is a sweet honeysuckle with a smoky twist of green tea, giving you this intriguing and elegant scent. Les Mots Doux, Sweet Words, which is a delicate jasmine and rose bouquet, soft, romantic and airy. Trois, Amours, I have 3 loves. Banana Blossom meets powdery jasmine, playful and totally unexpected. Into the day collection, Entre Genres, between genres, a cloud of musks with zesty tangerine, giving this modern, versatile and comforting scent. Soleil de Cossim, Son of Algiers, bright orange blossom with earthy vetiver, giving this radiant and warm scent. Aristo Chypre, classic patchouli with green rose, giving a bold and structured scent. Encore Une Fois, once again, a rich ambery vanilla that's addictive and unforgettable. Noir Encens, black incense, smoky incense with fiery black pepper for mysterious and intense scent. Or de Moi, gold of me, a radiant tuberose with a Chypre base, luxurious and full-bodied. Santal A La Vida, sandalwood for life. Creamy sandalwood with jasmine, cool, vibey and grounding. and Parc de Rose on Alabama. A Park of Roses in Alabama, leather meets velvety rose, bold and sensual. L'Amour Pourpre, purple love. Lavender grounded in amber, soothing and seductive. And Après L'Amour, after love, smoky tobacco with ginger, intense, spicy and carnal. It's actually been quite tricky to pick out all three, and throughout my time of trying them, my favorites have actually changed. Like, it started actually with Matin De Jade. I'm not going to go into all of it, but I loved how fresh and citrusy and zesty this was with this tea note. I also love the rosy scents. I love one which has got lavender. There's lavender vanilla, which is gorgeous. I'm going to link them all down below. But the three I am going to focus on, we're going to start with Encore Une Fois. This is delicious. So delicious on the skin. It's this rich, ambery vanilla, and this vanilla that feels so developed and so adult. And I say adult because I'm still like mentally in a bit of a zone where vanillas and these sort of gourmands can sometimes feel a little immature. But this just feels so rounded, and it's like I've loved wearing it into the cooler months because it's felt so warm, it's felt so inviting, it's felt so comforting, and it has just melted onto my skin. It's really like a sort of glistening amber. If you imagine this as a scent, this sort of golden juice, and then with this vanilla, which gives it this creaminess to it, it's gorgeous. It's comforting yet sophisticated, and it's felt just as much at home in... I have a navy corduroy suit. Stick with me on this. I have this navy corduroy suit, which I've worn a couple of times. I've worn it with a roll neck, black roll neck, which feels really sort of pared back and sophisticated. This, with that, has been so beautiful. Something which is really quite sort of plain and structured with a very clean silhouette of that look, plus the fragrance, which has almost given it slightly more depth, but it's also really worked on a sort of Sunday, and I've had a couple of walks, grabbed a coffee, picked up a croissant, and it's felt really much at home in this sort of sticking to a wool jumper or sort of smelling it on your gloves. It's been really gorgeous. That said, I can really imagine also wearing it into summer and this sort of beach walks and having that sort of salty air, but then this sort of sweet gourmand, sort of lickable ice cream. It's really beautiful. Get yourself into a store and smell this. If you're unsure about vanillas, this will be one that changes your mind. Encore Une Fois, gorgeous. Okay, the second one has been an obsession and one which I just think is vibey. This is where I'm going with this. Santal A La Vida, a sandalwood scent that again is developing the narrative that we've had with so many Santals. Like, let's not get me started. So many Santals that feel like we've just been pottering around the same zone. This has taken that narrative and it's pushed it forward. We're really developing into something which has got more to say for itself. Again, much like the sort of the adult version of the vanillas, we've been elevated in this. This is this beautiful, creamy sandalwood with jasmine. So it's woody, but it's floral. And it has this sort of ambery depth to it, which again is kind of gives you this sort of glistening tonality to it. If you guys like what I normally like, then you've come to the right place. Please do press subscribe right now. Then I think you're gonna love this. You know, it starts warm and inviting, and it's got a bit of movement to it, but then it finishes cool on the skin, and it's the one I keep on reaching for. I just think it's great. Okay, let's do pure sex. I mean, I probably didn't think you're gonna get that with this channel, but I'm gonna give you pure sex in a fragrance. Après L'Amour, after love. Think of that as you will. This has been the one that lasted 2 days on my skin. 2 days of smelling like pure, sensual, spicy, smoky sexiness. This gives me this almost like otherworldly quality to it. It's elegant, it's enticing, it's sexy, but it's still grounded. It's got this ginger note in it, there's this rose, there's a smoky tobacco. It's kind of, it makes me think of like a beautiful luxury cruise liner, maybe back in the sort of late 1800s into the 1900s. And it's people with these beautiful velvet smoking coats on, velvet jackets, and they're sort of sitting maybe with a martini or a little gin. It's kind of this lingering air of slight smoke in the air. And I'm not talking like heavy kind of Benson and Hedges. I'm talking like pure tobacco that kind of just drifts in the air. But then these sort of beautiful scents of these ladies that walk past, or these gents. And it's this. It's the sort of the cloud of beautiful scent that just follows someone. I love this. And it's sexy, and it's kind of like hot skin, and it's smoky, and it's gorgeous. And this is one you need to try. Get yourself into a store to try this. They are in Liberty if you're in the UK. Head downstairs into there. Get your nose into one of those flowers, or get the Discovery Kit. Seriously, Discovery Kit of all 14, or the sort of the Dawn, Day, Dusk Discovery Kits. It's so beautiful, and I believe this is one of their best sellers. I want to say that, maybe that's a lie. I know that Encore Une Fois also is. So maybe I've just picked the ones that everyone's going to like. But this is absolutely beautiful. So beautiful. I'm going to do this now. But thank you very much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, and maybe you want to know more about these, I can pull them together into an article, or I could do a sort of more deep dive into the rest of the 14. I love this brand. I love what they're doing. This is how fragrance should be. Really exciting, really innovative, and really kind of just like pushing that narrative ahead. Theme of the video, taking what we already know and pushing it forward. But thank you very much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed this. If you've got this far and you've not yet pressed subscribe, then hey, come on, press subscribe right now. But until my next new video, bye-bye.